Hello, love. I'm back with more books. That's it. Books. All right, the first ones, kind of combination. I bought this book to put this Mylar jacket, not necessarily on this book, but it just happened to work out that it fit. No disrespect to Robert Jackson Fighter, the story of an area combat, 1936-1945, but I don't give a fuck about racing. Racing? World War II, I mean. Alright, bud. I don't give a fuck about World War One, Two, Three, 4, 5, or 6. I just don't care. So, that book's that book. The Hunger by Whitley Strieber, who I find absolutely revolting. Not the book, but Strieber himself. Having heard him on Coast to Coast AM, guy just grinds me the wrong way. Let's read a little bit. John Blaylock checked his watch again. It was exactly 3 a.m., time to move. The small Long Island town was so quiet he could hear the light change. At the end of the tree-lined street, John put his watch back in his pocket and stepped softly from his place of concealment in the shrubs. He paused a moment in the cool, private air of the empty street. His target lived in the middle of the block, John's well-trained senses fixed on the black bulk of the house, testing for any flicker of life. As far as the Wagners, are they the Wagners or are they the Wagners? I don't know. Kay would just disappear. Within a month, she would become another statistic, one of thousands of teenagers who walk out on their families every year. Kay had good reason to run away. She was being expelled from Emerson High, and she and her boyfriend Tommy. All right, I see why they made it into a movie. Hey, look, there's my funeral light again. Love that light. Look at it. It hungers. Look, there, the two souls are melding. Oh, I know her. I know you. Snakes alive and how they live. As you can see, it was at the Step Thrift Store, but this one was in Dearborn. I'd forgotten that they told me last time I was at the Step Thrift Store in Wayne that during my birthday month or any other customer's month, they could get 1/3 off. But I forgot about that. Luckily, half the books I bought were, this isn't one of them, were yellow tags, so I got those 50% off. Yeah, it was 50% off today for yellow tags. Anyway, I should have had this one for 33 cents off, but I didn't. So anyway, there's a couple pieces of ephemera in this book. I'm going to sell this book. What is this shit? Mother swallows young. Oh, means of getting food. Oh, this must be birds or snakes or trains. Thought there's going to be some good ephemera. Just a ephemera. Oh no, a new enemy. Tires, buddy. I never liked snakes. But if I can sell this book for $14, I will like snakes more. What year was it? 50s. 55, Viking Press by Clifford H. Pope. Don't give a fuck. Basic Economics, or Economics, whatever you want to call it, by Thomas Sowell. The great Thomas Sowell. Why are homeless people sleeping on the sidewalks of New York in the winter when the abandoned apartment buildings in the city have 4 times as many dwelling units as there are homeless people in the city? Why are people hungry in Moscow? And there are vast amounts of some of the richest farmland on the continent of Europe within easy driving distance. Why did unemployment reach 25% and American corporations as a whole operate in the red 2 years ago? During the Great Depression in the 1930s. Yeah, I don't know what time it is right now. Probably 1 a.m. But I was going to film these earlier on my porch at dusk. But for whatever reason, it would only give me 5 minutes of camera time until I mess with the controls. And now I'm back to these amazing videos. I'm sure Soul has the answers here, but what's this? We got something. Got some ephemera. It's probably just a receipt for the book. Shit. Can't open it. I can't. Amazon.com for Charlene Lore. Alright, well, how much did she pay? Hopefully it doesn't show her information. Damn. $22.75. I paid 48.49. Anyway, I don't know if this is worth anything, but it's worth something to me. This book, which looks like a piece of garbage, Underside, edited by Thomas R. Frazier, is a history book, and I figure it has the underside of American history. Other readings, Volume 1 to 1877. The United States was forged in the crucible of conflict of ideas, conflict of economic and political systems, conflict of people with different sources. The underside of American history, intended to supplement existing textbooks, present a selection of untraditional readings in American history. These readings deal in various ways with a variety of oppressed groups in America. It's kind of like a Howard Zinn, the people's history, except this guy was doing it in 71. Maybe Zinn was too, I don't know. But I bought it just in case I need some alternate history. Doubt it's worth any. The beginnings of slavery in North America. So that's that. I don't know shit about popes or the Vatican history, but the controversial biography of Sister Pascalina, the most powerful woman in Vatican history. As I said, this was a half-off day, so I figured I should get this book. Since I have a couple days off, extra days off this week, I'm going to probably buy every book in every thrift store nearby. I did sell a $70 book last week, even though I haven't listed a book in probably 2 months. Probably should start selling books again, just to make some extra cash. I don't know what this lady did, but she's got a menacing grin. Powerful, moving love story, no less interesting because the two lovers were always chaste celibates. What's this? One a pope, the other his confidant, advisor, and friend. In this remarkable book, Pascalina emerges as one of the great women of the 20th century. Why? Because she fucked the pope? Hey, I fucked the pope, so I'm important as hell. Oh no, the book's split in half. That's alright then. I paid 49 cents. So is that all she did was fuck the pope? When the white smoke swirled from the chimney of Sistine Chapel, the world knew it had a new pope, Eugenio, blah, blah. What the world did not know was that it had also acquired a popessa. Hey, popessa, A tiny, beautiful, brilliant nun named Sister Pascalina who wielded a secret and unprecedented power. She was the Pope's aide, his housekeeper, his confidant, his advisor, his surrogate mother. What? And in critical times, his conscience. This is the stunning, never before told story of the Bavarian born nun who rose from the peasant beginnings to become the most influential woman in the Catholic Church. It is a thoroughly researched documentary that includes information given to Pascalina herself. She was only 23 when she first met Monsignor Pacelli. She devoted herself totally to him. When he was well, he requested that she be appointed his housekeeper in Munich. She took over his household with a perfectionist zeal, ran his office, never letting a fountain pen go dry, and tended to him personally, rushing to disinfect his much-kissed hand. What is this shit? A fucking Nora Roberts book? She was at his side when communist mob stormed a nunciature and was a witness when the later planes crashed into the hands of a young Adolf Hitler. I paid place cash, not crash. Increasingly, she dared to voice her criticism, always pleading morality's cause, but always she encouraged him. As the Papessa unfolds the story of this remarkable relationship between a man dedicated to the church and a woman who served her faith by serving him. It reveals the inner workings of the church itself during its most crucial period. I don't know if she did bang him. I don't believe they didn't bang. I don't really care if they bang. E. Cummings. Selected poems. Probably have this book in older edition, newer edition, next to newer edition. How can you ever pass up E? You gotta, you do, and you understand, you do, and you understand them. You goddamn, you understand them, doity. You gotta get rid of you doing. Oh, nothing. Listen, bud, listen. Them goddamn little yellow bastards were going to civilize them. How do I know that? Because I read it about 1,000 times. I still messed it up. You gotta, you do, and you understand. You do, and you understand them. You gotta get. You understand them, doity. You gotta get rid of. You do. Oh, nada. Listen, bud. Listen. Them goddamn little yellow bastards. We're gonna civilize them. Oh, we're gonna civilize them. We're gonna civilize. The goddamn bastards weren't gonna civilize them. We're gonna civilize them. All right. There it is. The way to hump a cow is not to get yourself a stool, but draw a line around the spot and call it beautiful. To multiply because and why, dividing then and by nows, and adding and I understand is how's the hump a cows. The way to hump a cow is not to elevate your tool, but drop a penny in the slide and bellow like a bull. Yeah. To lay a wreath from ancient Greece on insulated brows when tossing bombs at Uncle Tom's is how to hump a cows. The way to hump a cow is not to push and then to pull, but practicing the art of SWAT to preach the golden roll. To vote for me, all decent mem and winnings will allows, which if they don't, to hell with them, is how's to hump a cow. He was fucking brilliant. Christmas, customs and traditions, their history and significance. 59 cents. This one gets into pagan, the Christmas. One thing I won't tolerate is Krampus. Let's see, Krampus outrage. Pagan Survivals, The Christmas Tree. Anyways, there's another book, Modern Library Christmas Stories with Dickens and entries from the Bible and other bullshit that is at another thrift store, and I never grab it, but I probably will next time. I don't know how many copies of Poe's complete tales and poems I have now, but it keeps growing. This book is heavy, like a sack of mule piss dipped into gold. What year is this? 1989, Dorset Press. I mean, everyone knows Poe. Paid the full 99 for 99 for Pro. I can't even speak. Sprechen this Deutsch. Living Dead. Featuring stories by Clive Barker, Poppy Z. Bright, Neil Gaiman, Joe Hill, George R.R. Martin, Kelly Lynch, Stephen King, and Laurel King. Speaking of Stephen motherfucking King, I was listening to, what's that guy? I'm Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager today. And the last caller of his show, they were talking about, what were they talking about? Was it guns? Yeah, probably because of the shooting in Texas. And this guy waited for 3 hours. That was the comment by Dennis Prager. And this guy gets on and he goes, yeah, the culture, things aren't going to change, blah, 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 which they aren't because we're basically the living dead. And the guy said, I can't remember the exact terminology, but it all started when Stephen King killed John Lennon. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Maybe there's a conspiracy that Stephen King killed John Lennon. I just don't know what it meant. And then Prager obviously cut him off because he's Prager. Yeah, you're disingenuous. You're a disingenuous guy. You lied to the screener. You know how many people probably lie to get on there? Anyway, I just never heard that before. And this made me think of it. Don't really care about the book, but I do like compilations. And since I don't have many zombie books and I hate zombies because of turbo speed running zombies, really turned me against zombies. I like the slow moving zombies. Because a zombie, if it has no mental faculty to think and it's dead, it can't run turbo speed. So, fuck fast zombies. Other than that, I don't really got anything against zombies, but you gotta be a slow moving zombie. You can't be fast. It's blasphemous towards this whole theory of zombies. Century of Conquest. I didn't know what this was when I opened it, but I was like, what the fuck is this? That was just going to be some Hallmark book about conquest. Oh no, what's this? St. Alphonsus School, 1846 to 1958. God, I can't read. 1846 to 1996. I actually probably already have this book. A Century of Conquest, the story of St. Alphonsus Parish. The reason why I get all these books, not only because they're local, they may have something in them that I need, even if it's just one hint or clue to something else, is because I have some old photos of, and I mean old photos, 100 plus years old, with photos of a local church. I would assume it's local, but I don't know. And More photos I have of churches. And I think the first pages I turned to were the ones with photos of these churches and schools. So, if I can find a photo of that church eventually, I will be able to identify it. See, there's one right there. Eventually, I'll find out what that church, that old photo is of. I do believe it's local. Old Schaefer Inn. See, we got old photos of Dearborn, which I'm sure the Dearborn Historical Society already has. Anyway, that's the story of that book. What St. Alphonsus says. First, I thought this was hissing or kissing cousins. The untold story of Eleanor Roosevelt and Alice Roosevelt Longworth, and I thought they were like lesbians, but apparently it says hissing cousins, which I suppose is just as good. I don't like the Roosevelts. Nobody should. She's a beaut. She's a beaut too. Says it's hilarious and spawns a lively and provocative double biography of first cousins Eleanor Roosevelt and Alice Roosevelt Longworth, two extraordinary women whose tangled lives provide a sweeping look at the 20th century. What were they? Teddy's wife or something? I don't know shit about the Roosevelts, to be honest, except the FDR policies, which were complete rubbish. 2015. I don't know. Last book, another heavy one. 150 years of Botsford Inn, more than a tavern. Local history of Farmington, Michigan, Michigan, by Gene M. Fox. Plus, I believe it's signed. Yes. No, it isn't signed. Unless Jean gave it to her own children. Oh well, I thought it was signed. I would have bought it regardless if it was signed or not. There's Henry Ford the Nazi at a fire, 1986. I have less than fond memories of Botsford Hospital. It's now some other kind of hospital. I know because I got a colonoscopy there last summer. But back in the day, when my brother was young and had horrible asthma, we often made late night trips to Botsford Hospital. And many of those times was spent with me in the back seat with a nearly breathless younger brother and me taking my cupped hand like this and tapping his back. Maybe it was his chest, because that's what the physicians told us to do when he was struggling to breathe. So that's what I'd be doing at 2 a.m. in the back seat of the car, thinking my bro was going to be dead, but he didn't die. Look at this fucking guy. Champion, whoever he is. What is this guy? Is that Buick? Oh, it's Buck. Here, Glenn Buck of the Chicago Audubon Club, Henry Ford, and John Burroughs. I wonder if that's John Burroughs. Is John Burroughs from Burroughs Corporation? That can't be John Burroughs. I don't know who the hell John Burroughs is. Guy's got a great beard, though. Anyways, I don't think I ever looked at the Botsford Inn, but I remember driving past it numerous times. I wonder if that place is still open. Is that Fago? It's Fago. It's Fago, buddy. Anyways, that's it. It would have cost me $20 for this book on eBay, and now I have it. Sayonara.